putting off. You're looking for the solution. That's very important, especially.
Scene one, take one.
Yeah. We want to speak. We want to have an hour with a group of young people to talk about what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
You imagine if we did that.
Yeah, because the desire of my heart is, like in lots of places around the world, we are really struggling to get young people to answer a call to officership. And people my age keep saying, oh, well, it's because of this and it's because of that. And, this is the reason and that's the reason. And I keep... Yeah, I'm 60. I keep saying, when are we going to get groups of young people around a table and ask them what are the reasons? Why?
Yeah.
What are the barriers?
I can relate with that, actually, because always we talk about officership. The people are like, I'm not going to take it. And I think the young people, and they have fears in the officership, but at the same time it's like I want to do a lot of things, and I think like the officership it's like this, right? And you're like, I can accomplish my dreams, I can't do a lot of things, and that is why I'm not gonna take it. Like I'm not gonna take that responsibility.
I totally agree that officership is like this box, but I feel very privileged because in Australia, I'm actually employed as a mission leader, effectively a corps officer.
Yeah.
And it's not because of a lack of commitment that young people necessarily don't want to do officership. It's because it's so rigid and you have to fit a certain box, where I feel so privileged that I get to live in a community, be in a community and invest knowing that I'm there for the long haul. And I get to build relationships. I get to be part of long-term mission, connecting with other churches and doing stuff together. Like, we get to be on this constant journey when no one is thinking, well,
I've got 3 years to get it done.
3 years to get it done, or this happened with the last person, why aren't you doing it this way? I feel really privileged, and I think it's important to think about flexible leadership pathways.
I've been wondering, how do you really stay grounded in God while you're leading such a big organization, and still in everything that you do, people would not see you, but they would see Christ.
I was just saying to somebody yesterday that the truth is that the responsibilities I currently carry have pushed me into the throne room. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, they've pushed me into the presence of God, because I've realized just how much I need His provision, His strength, His wisdom, His counsel, His enablement, and His protection, because I think when you are trying to give yourself fully to the King and to the mission of the movement, you become a bit of a target for the evil one. He's very subtle. He's a very tricky guy, right? I'm benefiting now in this role from years of disciplined growth in discipleship. I'm sort of reaping the reward of investing early in what it means to be a deep follower of Jesus Christ. And I think that's what's keeping me grounded. So I think just practicing the disciplines of the faith is such an important thing to grab a hold of when we're young.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Tell me about that. Right? For you guys, right, not easy. Correct? The discipline thing, right? Even the word discipline, like, it's a horrible word. Whatever words you want to use, the truth is the fruit of the faith comes from the discipline of the faith, from doing the things, prayer, word, fellowship, service. It's the practice of the faith that helps us go deeper in Jesus, and brings with it the fruit and the protection. So for me, in answering your question, how do I do it? I do it through continuing to practice the disciplines of my faith, and remembering daily that what I am before I am anything else is a committed follower of Jesus. That's That's what I take.
Yeah, and I also love what, in one of the presentations that we had earlier, someone talked about when Commissioner Paddy came and talked about spiritual life development. And that whole thing of that spiritual life is about all of life.
Very good quote.
Yeah, so it's not just about, oh, I'm going to do my devotions for half an hour this morning and then I'm going to go to school or work or whatever it is, but I'm taking what was in there, that's important, that space is really important, but that I take it with me and it becomes part of who I am, my discipleship journey in the world in which I'm living.
People of the way. Yeah.
And we've talked about that a lot actually this week of we want to be involved, we want to have those opportunities that stretch us, that help us grow, have mistakes. Sometimes it just feels like we don't have those opportunities.
Together.
Or we fail and sorry, that wasn't good enough, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard that word this afternoon. You want more involvement. I think that's a really good word for us to try and get out to our core leaders and centre leaders, that young people want to, quote, practice their faith.
I was listening to a quote that said that if we're given the responsibility as Christians to share the gospel in our churches, we should also have that same responsibility to go and practice it out. So we have the commission as young people to act out our faith, but we need the space to even fail and not feel overwhelmed of, I have to be perfect, I have to get it right. Because we're so poured into and empowered by our leaders that we can, mistakes are part of the process. We're never going to be perfect. So I think that was an interesting quote that just made me think about how we have the commission to share the gospel. Now we just need the space and the people, the right people to empower us to be able to live it out.
And a safe space to practice.
And we've talked a lot about role models this week as well. That we desperately want loving and caring adults and peers to walk alongside us, to journey it with us, both in and both then when we get opportunities outside. We desperately are searching for that.
What's been your experience? Is it easy to find those people? Are they? Do we have any?
Yes, I would say yes. As young people, and when we're trying to be sound in the word, we have to recognize that when we look to man, they're going to fail us. Always, they're going to fail. Just like we as role models to younger generations can fail. So we don't have that pressure of, okay, I'm looking for the perfect person. I'm just looking for a person with integrity. A leader that not just, says, but lives it out too. And recognizing I'm human, you're looking up to me, but I can make a mistake. But I have the integrity and that word to say, yes, I fail too. I'm not more, I'm not less. I'm right alongside you. That's where that discipleship really comes into play for me.
There's something in that broken person that keeps turning up, right? They're carrying something that you want to learn about.
Exactly.
And just keep coming back. What's going on there?
I think I would just like to encourage you guys and the generation that you represent. I totally get it about mentors. It is so crucial. But I think that there's probably people my age who feel that what young person would want to have anything to do with me? I'm so far removed. And so I guess in a way, I'd like to suggest that you need to think about flipping it a little bit and asking. Like, if you see in an older person at your core, just a spark of something that there's just something in that person that I'd really like to learn more about, that you take the courageous step of approaching them and saying, would you consider?
Can I journey with you?
Because you've probably got older people thinking, they don't want to hear from me. I've got nothing that they want to hear from. And yet, if you were to approach someone older, your generation, if you see something, have the courage to approach that person and say, would you consider journeying with me for a little bit? I think we'd probably have a whole my generation would be so encouraged by that.
You have to be a little bit curious about that, about our elders. And I have a connection with them because there's a lot of wisdom when you talk with them. And I think us as young people have to to have like networking with them. But I think there's power in the elders, and there's power in the wisdom. Though.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna be curious.
Okay.
Go for it. Good.
Curious. We like curious.
How was your experience with the calling
Yeah.
for being like?
Yeah. You mean the response to the call to officership?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was a bit crazy for me. I was at a youth council's. It wasn't even that I was paying attention, to be honest. I don't even know that I was paying attention. But it just suddenly hit me through something the speaker was saying. I don't even know who the speaker was, and I can't really remember the whole message. But in those moments, it was like, wait a minute. This is real. This is real. God is real. And God has revealed himself in the person of Jesus Christ, the resurrected Son of God. This is real. And it's for me. I'm welcome. His saving grace is directed towards me, but his love towards me is unconditional. Man, I tell you, it just kind of bombed on me, you know. It wasn't just a kind of a subtle thing. I was kind of hit by it, you know, and it became a very emotional experience for me. I found myself down at the mercy seat, you know. I was kind of laughing and crying. I mean, it was a very emotional experience for me. I felt like I was just being sort of wrapped up in God's love. That's what I felt, honestly. I felt like I was being wrapped up in God's love. And you know, the result was I reached out and I grabbed the officer's form, right? And I just signed my name to it. So I signed, and I tore the thing in half, and I gave half of it to the officer, and I still have the other half in my Bible.
70?
I've still got it in my Bible today. Wow. I signed it as a 17-year-old on the 12th of August 1979, and then over the years, you know, there was a maturing, there was a deepening, there was a confirmation that came through elders who spoke into my life, and an awareness that actually, no, in that moment, that was so real. I can't see myself now doing anything else but fulfilling that mandate on my life.
Talking about role model,
I
have one question about how we or me in my church or us as a youth can be a role model and talk to them like God's plan is more over or bigger than their parents' pressure.
Yeah.
That's my question.
I don't know that there's an easy answer to that, but I think that probably your joy in the Lord, your pursuit of your faith, your demonstration of the fruit of the Spirit, your consistency in your pursuit of God, in its own way brings reassurance to parents. So I think your testimony to them, Mum and Dad, you need to understand, I'm praying, I'm seeking the Lord, I'm following the Spirit, I'm being counseled by people who are wise. You don't have to worry about me. God's got me. God's got me, right? So finding ways to reassure Mum and Dad that you're on the journey, even if you haven't got it all figured out, that you're at least on the journey, and maybe creates a bit of space for them to go, I can ease off a little bit.
Even when they are not Christians too.
Yeah. I think even that. I think it's a beautiful thing to testify to Mum and Dad. Yeah. You know, you may not sense this, but God who created the universe, right, is giving direction to my life. I'm in safe hands. You don't have to worry about me.
Yesterday I came to IHQ, right? So I saw your office was we can say cabin was on first floor, and in India I see the big boss is always on top, always on top. But I see, like, what made you think to be on that first floor?
Yeah. Well, I didn't decide. I inherited it. It was already there. I just walked across the floor because I was serving on the other side of the floor. The concept of the architect was based on. Evidently, was based on Roman design, where the commanders or the leaders were protected by people above and below. Wow. Right? So they're in the middle, so they're kind of protected. Yeah. That's the concept. Wow. However, for me, every ordained Salvation Army officer in the Salvation Army is first and foremost a disciple of Jesus Christ who has received a calling to be a shepherd to the flock. A shepherd, right? Shepherds care, shepherds nurture, shepherds ensure there's food, shepherds show the way, and they don't lord it over people. They don't use power to demand things, right? Rather, they lead through their personal example. And I think that amongst our ordained ministry, we have to recapture our shepherd role, that our example counts, that what we get excited about counts, that what we give ourselves to counts, right? And so that's what you're looking for. I think young people are looking for the, am I wrong?
No.
You want to be able to look at your pastor or your core officer and go, person of integrity, servant heart, and modelling the way for us, you know? And yes, on Sunday, her sermons, his sermons, they are as boring as bits. But I see something in them.
You think like the Salvation Army should adapt his form of operating according to the times we are, like making changes not on the essence, but the form that we do things.
Do you think we should?
Ooh. I think we can change something, maybe.
Yeah. What do you think? You tell me what you think, right?
Sure.
Maybe like connecting with youth through personal relationships and not just sermons. Like
my sense is that we're having those conversations now in a way that we never had them when we were your age, right? So it's taken a while, but we've got there. We're starting to explore. Can it look different? Can the forms be different without us compromising who it is that God raised us up to be and what it is he raised us up to do? There is a saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, so if you're going to make changes, make sure that you're still hanging on to the thing that really matters, right? And I think that that means that we have a tendency to be a bit cautious. And I think that's where the youth voice becomes very important, because young people are brave. Young people can only see possibility, not danger. And the older you get, the more, ooh, you know. So I think these conversations and these forums become really important because you're pushing us.
Like what are we going to do that helps promote the voices of young people, but also, like we mentioned, power imbalances, like all people of the Salvation Army? How are we pushing that forward?
I don't have an easy answer, to be honest with you. I really don't have an easy answer because it's kind of, it's global, but it's also local. Right. Most of the significant changes that have happened within our movement have started locally, not because IHQ. Often the Salvation Army writes policy to catch up with practice on the ground. You know, something has started on the ground and a wave has happened, and then the army says, "Well, man, we better put some guidelines around this because it needs some order or it needs some whatever," you know. So all that to say that mostly what happens in terms of moving the movement forward happens locally. It happens on the ground. And dare I say it often happens because young people aren't focused on trying to fix the movement. They're just focused on being deep followers of Jesus who are getting on with the mission and the ministry and just happen to be doing it through the vehicle, this part of the body of Christ known as the Salvation Army. And it's in that space, quite frankly, that you guys start to lead up, right? Because while everybody else is talking about what colour the hall should be, you guys are in a prayer meeting, praying for the fire of the Spirit to come down and enliven people. You know, you're studying and preparing yourselves. You're practicing with each other how to share your story of faith in a way that you can take it out into the community. You're the guys that are organising yourselves to say, why don't we just go down our neighbourhood and knock on doors and say, is there anything we can do for you? Can we serve you? Can we pray with you today? And you'll change the movement. It'll happen. You will change the movement. You'll broaden the movement. You'll grow the movement just because you're getting on with it. While us old fellas, you know, are sitting in rooms writing strategic plans and, you know, just get on with it. I think we're going to launch, the movement is going to launch over this next decade into a period of experimenting, trying, innovating, creating. Because we're intentionally, part of the global framework is intentionally trying to make space for that. Not as a, wouldn't it be nice, but as an expectation. We are going to create, we are going to innovate, we're going to try new things. And I think my sense is that's going to be led by young people.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's
I
true.
think the forum creates, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's true that this generation is truly on fire for the Lord. And so with that, like, there's so much going on around us in this world. And a lot of times we look to our church for response. You know, obviously we seek Jesus and we want Jesus and we're, you know, have those disciplines or reading our Bible, but we need our church to also be there alongside of us. And so there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. Right?
Yeah, and I think it's true to say that at every level of the movement there are broken people,
Yeah.
right? Getting it right and getting it wrong all at the same time. But it's better to be in. You can't fix it if you're not in it. So we've got to be in it, to keep pushing, to keep teaching, to keep trying. And we've got to do so in a way that honours the Lord, because that's actually part of the practice of our faith. So advocating, speaking up, speaking into in determined yet respectful ways becomes an art that results in change. And I think that one of the challenges that's come to us at international headquarters as a result of the youth forum is this challenge about where are the vehicles, what are the mechanisms that enable young people, youth voice, to actually be heard at the decision-making tables, the leadership tables, the tables that actually can have the authority to direct resources or shift things or write policy that will bring change. And I acknowledge today that in many parts of the Salvation Army world, those voices are not at the table. And we're going to change that.
Yeah.
We're going to change that, because I think that's what will bring the change. I thoroughly enjoyed this afternoon's session, hearing your passion. It's been great, and I think, you know, conversations like this are going to be so important for us going forward. And I'm already going home in my head thinking, I've got to find a way to get youth around the table. So that's my commitment to you. But really, thank you for being a part of this conversation this afternoon.
Thank you.
And your commitment to the forum. I think it's the start of something, right? So I think you need to be encouraged by that. So thanks for being with us today. God bless you all. Yeah, it's been cool.